No relationship is perfect, isn't it? But when we talk about toxic relationship, they go beyond than just lacking good qualities, but can also add a lot of negativity in your life. And if you ever find yourself trapped into a toxic relationship, you may not be aware of it, but your entire life is on hold. Now, if I talk about abusive relationship, it can be a physical abuse or emotional abuse, any sort of abuse. You know that it's not healthy, you know that it's toxic, and you know that it is not right. Even in the beginning, you're not sure about it, but eventually, when your friends, when your family will keep on reminding you that you're in a wrong relationship, you will know that it's toxic, you will know that it's not healthy. Now, one question to ask: can a relationship still be toxic without being abusive? Absolutely yes. A relationship can still be extremely toxic without being abusive, because when a relationship is abusive, it is seen, it is there, everybody can see it, including you. But when you're in a toxic relationship, it can be even more dangerous than an abusive relationship, because you may not even be aware of it. You may not even be aware of how it is draining your life, draining your energy. You're being depressed, you're getting frequent headaches, the physical symptoms, all the feeling that something is not right, the feeling of a constant change, that you need to change yourself, that you need a big change in your life. All of this can leave you in a state of depression, in a state of stress, in a state of severe anxiety, where you just don't know, you just don't have any idea where you are wrong in your life. Changing things about your partner or even ending your relationship will not help. It is never going to help unless or until you redesign your life, you get back into your track, you feel the way you used to once, and you just get out of the state of uncertainties or the state of being unworthy or unloved, unless or until you overcome your limiting beliefs. Now, you may find a lot of articles on the internet as well telling you about 35 signs that your relationship is toxic, 15 signs of toxic relationship, this and that. But I have come up with a very practical signs or red flags that you can say that you are in a toxic relationship or with a toxic person. Sign number one is fear of constant judgment and criticism. If you find yourself in a place where you no longer feel like you could share everything with your partner that you once used to, and you now have a fear of being constantly judged by your partner or being constantly criticized by your partner about the choices you make, about the things you may like, about the things you may dislike, about any of the things you want to talk about. Or I'm not saying that the criticism is wrong in any relationship, but constructive criticism is absolutely amazing. It can be very healthy for a relationship where you both can sit and talk about your relationship or anything that your partner wants you to change a little bit so that the relationship can go in the right direction. But if you're feeling personally attacked by your partner, if you constantly fear of being judged by your partner, if it is too much for you to handle, if it's too much of criticism for you to handle from your partner, then sign number two, breaking your boundaries. Now, this is a very important signal that you should know whether you're in a toxic relationship or not. The moment your toxic partner or your partner in general breaks the boundaries with you or can even act like a bully, if you feel ashamed of sharing your emotional side in front of them, even if you fear of crying in front of them, even if you're fear of expressing yourself emotionally in front of them, that means that you're in a toxic relationship. If they break to that certain level of boundary with you in your personal space, that means you're in a toxic relationship. And if they're triggering your personal beliefs, if they're triggering your emotion to humiliate you, that means you're in a wrong relationship. Now, the third sign is lack of self-care and old hobbies. When you're in a toxic relationship, when you're with a toxic person, you just completely cut all of these things, cut all of your hobbies, all of your likes from your life, and you spend most of the time with them, pleasing them. Your nature becomes very pleasing. that if your partner is thinking that it's right for you to be available at the time that your partner wants, you lose a lot of your friends because of it, you lose a lot of your hobbies because of it, you lose a lot of your pampering routine because of this, and you may not spend time with your family, which is very unhealthy, and this is one sign that is very toxic for you, and it can leave you unstable in your life. You may feel lonely when you're even when you're in a relationship, and this is just not right. Now, fourth sign is the constant fear of betrayal. Now, if I ask you what is a sign of healthy relationship, a healthy relationship is where you feel secure, where you feel like a great bond with your partner, where you don't find yourself in uncertainties, where you don't find yourself in a fear of betrayal. So if you find yourself constantly in a fear of betrayal, or if your partner is making you feel that he can leave you anytime, and you just feel emotionally drained, and you just don't feel good about yourself, that you may need to change yourself for them to stay in your life, and them being very casual about it, and them not being able to make you feel secure about the relationship, not being able to make you feel secure about the bond you both share, that means you're not in a good relationship. It is very unhealthy for yourself, because you may not be aware, but it is taking up a lot of your energy, and it is disconnecting yourself from you. Now, the fifth and last sign is more of a physical sign, because when nothing is wrong with our emotional health or our mental health, then how can our physical health be right? So the last point is more of a physical point, where you may feel that your energy is quite drained, you may be feeling unworthy, and you may be feeling very bad about yourself, and you think that if you change yourself completely, then things will change in your relationship, and that can affect your routine very badly. You may have constant headaches, you may just not get enough energy to do anything in your life, and that can affect your life really badly. So there were my signs where you can evaluate yourself whether you're in a toxic relationship or not.